Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 32. So this is the first episode of February 2022. The episode name today is Masterpiece in Progress. So I first read or heard this term from Tony Robbins, who way back when was Anthony Robbins. That's how long I've been aware of him. I'm a fan of some of his frames, less of his science. But we're not going to get into that today. I'll do that maybe in another episode. But I really love this frame because what it is it's talking about, and this is paraphrasing, I found another quote on the internet, which is probably the real or original source of it. But I just like this phrase sort of as it is. And that is, if you think of your life as a masterpiece in progress, I think it gives you two things. It's like, it's not so much that you're broken, because you're not broken, but you're not perfect. But it is, and I use this term not so literally, but because it's meaningful to a lot of people, it's culturally meaningful. I think it's almost like a sacred responsibility for us as human beings to recognize that we're just fine, but that doesn't mean we're standing still, and nor should we. We should be striving to be a better and better version of ourselves every single day. I'll try to keep the language tame for today. I kind of like the freedom that it expresses, that we can say what we want, use the words we want. These videos are not for kids. The subject would bore them anyway. So I haven't really thought much about what I'm going to say about this topic today, other than what I've just said. That is, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with us. We don't need to be fixed, but that's an entirely different topic than a topic that I think is more life-affirming than anything. And that is, here we are as we are now. What can we do? What should we do to make ourselves a better version of ourselves? And I think this is like I said, an everyday responsibility of every human, wherever you are, unless you really believe you're perfect, and then you need some kind of help or advice that I and really nobody can probably give you. You recognize that you're not perfect, and that therefore you have space and room and opportunity to improve. And that alone is a good reason to improve when you think about it, considering if you're capable of watching this, you are still in the top 20%, not the top 10% or less of human beings, because you have the freedom, right, privilege, access, and wealth to be sitting back and watching this instead of struggling to survive, not having a computer and so on, or a smartphone, whatever that is. But let's take it from that angle. Since you have been born into or worked your way into, for a small minority of human beings, the position that you're in to have the luxury to watch me ramble on about this stuff, you owe it, if not to yourself, to our species, to whoever helped you get here, to the authors of the books you read, to the directors and actors and creators of the movies that inspired you, whatever you want to call it, to your kids, to your, I like to use the term loved ones rather than friends and family, because it's just more inclusive and not so restrictive. It's like, let's be honest, family isn't always people we're close to. I'm close to my family, more so as an adult than I was as a kid. However, family isn't always great, and friends aren't always something less than family. So that's why I like to use the term loved ones. So if you are unwilling, unable, or uninspired to continuously strive to improve yourself for yourself, and I'm not talking about narcissistic self-love, just saying, well, I'm worth it and I want to be a better version of myself, if for no other reason, for loved ones, or again, let's just say for our species in general, that When people look at somebody who has accomplished something, who is ahead of them, and we all have people ahead of us and we all have people behind us. I myself, especially when you know people personally who are ahead of you, you admire them, you have an opportunity to learn from them as long as you can put your ego aside and humility and say they have something to teach me. In all likelihood, you have something to teach them as well. But the idea is, besides people who are famous and aspirational, which most of us never will be, that's totally okay. But we can also just be ordinary and inspirational to someone. And it's almost certain that whoever you are that for someone, or you could be that for someone. So I'm just going to end this as probably the shortest historical video I've done to date. And that is, you are and should be, you should strive to be a masterpiece in progress for yourself, for your loved ones, for others who will be inspired by you. How you do that? Well, watch my other videos is what I'm going to say about that. But the bottom line is just strive to be better, because it's, as I said, let's call it a sacred responsibility. Michelangelo, Da Vinci did not get where they were, didn't achieve what they did without probably well over the famous and misunderstood 10,000 hours of deliberate practice, which I will get into in another video. My name is Tim B. Green. This has been Crush It Club episode 32, Masterpiece in Progress. Bye for now.